It's a slow start this morning. It's early. Got lots to do today. Well, my lunch out got canceled today because Bella is not feeling well, and because Jerry had cataract surgery, he's not driving right now. So I may need to take her to the vet or go pick up medication or something. I was waiting for a call back. So I don't really want to start this project. And it is so windy out here. Can't get over it. Oop. Windy enough to knock the ring off the bird feeder. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So I'm thinking maybe I could clean up in there. That needs it, but I was really wanting to do a bunch more work before I cleaned up in there, because that place gets messy every time I do anything. We are, whoa, yeah. The cactus is about to bloom, and this deciduous plant has all kinds of blooms on it. Look how long it is. Yeah. Probably 3 feet at least, maybe a little more. Okay, I'm about to tackle this mess. Look at this, it's taken over exactly half of the walkway. Yeah, I'm about to work on this. But before we do, let's do the outfit of the day, huh? All right, for cosmetics, I brushed my teeth and I put on some lip balm. That's it. I have sunscreen on as well, a little bit from earlier, and I am just wearing a sports bra and a very light, I can't go back any further, yeah, just these Temu shorts. And the best part is these old flip-flops. They're so worn that the red from these layers is showing through. Now, before you want to say any smack about these guys, they are from, I bought them in 1991. There's my babies. Yeah, this project is so daunting, I just have been putting it off. But anyway, so that's the clothing that I'm, wearing today on my outing to the backyard. All right, I have to have a bench or something to sit on. Oh, it's bright out here. So I had to finally get on that before. It was chilly this morning, so I didn't do it. And a lot of times I will garden in a cotton nightgown because of all the flexibility and the coolness it gives you, but I'm filming today, so we're not doing that. Oh no, Jerry, you put that on? Yeah. Oh, well, there's one of them. I had these pieces break off of a plant, and I planted them. Oh, there's another one still surviving. This is the utilitarian side of the house, although Jerry's made part of the other side. We're about to work on utilitarian too, because of its proximity to the gate. But I did want it to be nice. I didn't get any plants yet for pots or any kind of vegetables or anything yet, because I didn't want to get ahead of myself. But I do need to rework my summer planters. They have everything from last year still in it. And I am just going to throw all those ferns in here and hope they sort of take over. I know this is a mess. I actually have things planted in here, like Frangipangi or plumeria, and then some more of these, the babies are in here. But these weeds here with the white flowers take over, but the bees love them. So I decided to leave them. And so that's what I did for the bees. I don't know if you can see that there's bees around there right now, actually. So I'm just going to throw ferns out there, and it can take over if they want to. Otherwise, they can just become fertilizer. All right. Whoa. Tripped myself on nothing. I think I'm just going to start on the corner because there's something very interesting. I may have shown you this before, or it may have been in a TikTok. But this piece, see, you have this drain pipe coming down, and the bottom piece has a fern growing at one end and a palm tree out the other. So I just hid it back under all the foliage. I just thought it was interesting. I'm just gonna leave it, see what happens. But anyway, two types of ferns in here. This is the wild fern, I believe. And this is from a Boston fern that I planted. They used to be in those two planters right there. But as you can see, all right, let me get started. I don't know if the squirrels did this or what, but, that is a palm tree nut. Probably from that one right there. But I'm finding them pretty deep in here. As you can see, I have just unearthed the hose reel thing. Not very far into this project yet, and it's probably going to take more than just today's work to get these ferns out of here, because some of them are breaking off, so meaning there's still some root structure down there, but that's just how it works. Might take a couple seasons to get them all out. My helpers are saying, Mom, it's time to take a break. So I just want to show you what we got going on here. Okay, so there's my amaryllis. I thought that they killed it, but what they did is they forced it down so I couldn't see its leaves. So I'm going to have to stake it up if it's, I don't know, it might be a lost cause this year. And there's the peace plant. And then look what else I found. This is what the fern was in. And that's why I haven't been able to easily pick it up, because the roots had gone through, but I've been pulling on it. But yeah. That's why some of these ferns are here. Oh, there's the bottom of the basket. It just broke off. Oh, here's one of those. This is probably from when I had some dahlias or something. So I'm going to stake this amaryllis up, see if that helps it. I don't know. Okay, I'll give you an update. And my two little supervisors have been with me the whole time. Found this in there. I thought this was planted in the ground, but it wasn't. It was just in the pot, just sitting there. I'm sure that's from my mom's funeral. That's what most of the things I've planted in here have been. This was always just a really narrow annual border. So, you know, when my stepmom, my dad, my stepdad, Jerry's mom, my mom all passed and people gave us plants and stuff. I put them in here because a lot of them I didn't think would really last in Florida, although the peace lily can. Some can. But anyway, found that. So I will take it out of the pot and put it in here. And then there's a baby one that it started and it got pulled up. It's got one root still in the ground, so I'm going to try to leave it there. Another amaryllis. So I've got my 3 amaryllis. One is red, one is white and pink, and I think the other is pink. I'm not sure which is which. One was from a coworker, and then I think the other was, again, a funerary flowers or something. But anyway, this whole section here, up to the thing, is cleaned out. Yay! So it's got that much more to do. This part here is really hard to get back in there, and there's a planter in there too, which I think is a succulent planter. That was my mother-in-law's, actually. Oh, I gotta pull that one up. That's gonna come back. And then I found the tube here. This comes from in there. In that mess is our hose, and that's where it's an automatic hose for reeling back in, and it does that by water moving, and it comes out that tube somehow. I don't know. I don't understand the technology, but yeah, I'm probably halfway done with pulling. Yeah. So hopefully my 20-something pool guy will feel better now, because he felt unsafe or whatever coming back here. He was afraid. He said he didn't know what was in there. You know, we have a pretty lush yard, but don't worry, the 66-year-old woman took care of it. And I'm not making light of his fears because, I don't know, maybe he knows somebody got snake bit or something, but it's just kind of ironic. Okay, it's break time. Jerry's gone to Starbucks for coffee. I said, oh no, too hot, too dirty. But I'm going to come in while he's gone, just in case I injure myself or something. I don't want to be by myself. Plus, I need water and a bite. So these are the plants I'm going to put in there. I did, in that bed now. I did do a little video on shopping for them. I was going to do another vlog. If I don't do that vlog, then I will put that footage right here. And I shouldn't show you my messy living room, but Jerry has given me a well, he didn't task me with it, but I'm taking it on. When he left, he said he cannot find the remote to turn the TV off. So I'm going to try to do that. Other than all the stuff he likes to keep over by his chair, notice anything else about his chair? Yeah, not over there where I would expect, or up there. There. I thought I should clarify something that I said, because it kind of might have sounded like I was making fun of the pool guy's fears, minimizing his fears. Obviously his fears are real, you know, and but it's the irony. What I'm talking about is he's some young 20 something, maybe 30, I don't know, and I'm 66-year-old woman who sometimes their society doesn't value, you know, and I think we've kind of touched on that here a little bit, but you know, I hear a lot of ageism lately. I don't know why. Just in the last few years, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because some of younger Americans are tired of old politicians. I'm not going to get into that, but anyway, and maybe that trickles down to the rest of us as well, not just the politicians. But you know, I hear people say, "I can't wait for the baby boomers to all die," and this and that. So there you go. A 66-year-old woman just basically took care of something to make a 20-year-old something feel safer walking down the path in her backyard. And I think that there's some value in that. I think I called it irony, but I don't know, maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's a life lesson to people to wake up that everybody has value. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at finding lost things. It's my hidden talent. Back in the day, before there was less paper, more electronic files, and someone would misfile something, I was the one that people would go to and say, "Hey, can you help me find this?" I've just always been, it's my hidden talent, finding things that are lost and being able to toss something into a garbage can from across the room in one shot. Too bad you can't make a living on those two things. All right, so I got my new plants laid out here about where they're going to go. I'm not ready to plant them yet. I still got work to do out here, and I don't want to put them in now and damage them. But I thought I would get them at least living in approximately where they're going to be. It may not be 100%. And then plus, some of them were needing some water. So let's get them watered so they can survive, so they get in the ground. We do have irrigation. Oh! Pick that one up. We do have irrigation system here, so I won't have to hand water them all the time, although when they're newly planted, I do have to keep an eye on them for a bit, you know, as they get used to their area. But for the most part, this isn't a big deal watering area. These are going to have to be repotted like they are every couple of years. The coconut basket wears out, and then they get real. I might quit putting them in here. Yeah. But I'm not going to put ferns in there again. Last one. All right, so these all had a drink, and I gave a little drink to the ones who were living here before but were completely covered up by the ferns, so I don't know. They're all kind of bent over because the ferns were weighting them down. but I'm hoping that they will stand back up. Uh-oh, where's this one? Whoopsie, I think this might have gone. Okay, no. Oh, I hear the leaves are cracking when I do that. Yikes. The amaryllis can probably hardly wait until I get the mulch down to cover them up. Their bulbs are kind of protruding. And then there's that little one, I guess that just, I don't know if that's the remnants of one or a new one started. Let's just get so over here, may as well, over here, may as well get some water for the birds. I haven't had the feeders out today. I don't put them out every day. Oops. I know my glove's in the way. Sorry. Hard to hang on to all of this. I am not going to put this hose away because they're not expecting anybody back here. No pool guy or anything coming down right now. And, oops. I started editing, so I'm not going to, I think I just turned that off, I'm not sure. I started editing, so I'm going to go back and pick up that while I still know where I am and what I'm doing. Because it gets very confusing when you stop in the middle of editing and you don't know what you've downloaded. I actually had already downloaded stuff, but it didn't take all of it. I just sometimes such a problem getting stuff off my phone anymore. So I'm really going back and filling in the spots that are missing. And I kind of have that in my head now where all that is and what it is. Easy could it be alive. All right. Listen to the northern mockingbirds especially. The birds are very noisy right now. I think they're calling for mates. It is, except the blue jays are just screeching, a little after noon, like 12:20 or something. 77 degrees, beautiful day. Time to get back at this. I'm wearing pretty much the same clothes I wore yesterday to do this job. I put the same thing on, only I switched shoes and ditched the bra. You know, you gotta be free when you garden. And everything is still alive here, waiting to be planted. But I still got more to, ooh, wasps. Yeah, I need to work on my jasmine vine and stuff too, but I want to finish this first. You know, there's always something else to do. What was I going to say? Oh, I switched to these, my garden clogs, because if I'm going to find a snake, it's going to be around here. Because for some reason, those little black snakes are attracted to this hose reel. They lay on it a lot. They're not venomous. They don't even want to have any interaction with you. They'll run away. But if for some reason, like you step on them or something that causes a, sorry, one of these got on the back of my neck and freaked me out a little. Talking about snakes and then feeling that on your neck. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, but you can accidentally step on one. And while they're not venomous, they say that their bite really hurts. So these are better protectors than flip-flops. So I'm going to get started on this part right here. Okay, I took a little break and now I'm back at it. Went in for water and a little bit of rest. So you can see I got a lot of that. Still haven't got behind that. That's just going to be hard to get to. And that's kind of where I am, where I took a break, is where there's a thickness of bromeliads left. It is really hard getting that stuff out. It wasn't over there. That one got unearthed. I had to plant it again. Yeah, I think the bromeliads were all further back, and these are their pups that have survived, you know, that came up, and they're more on the edge because I did not plant them this far on the edge. So when that, what do you call it? Pothos? That stuff. like right there, that had grown all through them. And I found those 2 pots there and this 1 pot here underneath all of that. I think that's all I found. And here's my big mound of debris. Actually, it had old debris there as where Jerry was putting stuff, so I just put it right on top. So, time to proceed. It's got a nice breeze going right now. It's beautiful. You know what, now that I have most of this out, well, all of it out, just about, I'm trying to decide, I might just dig up all of these and replant further back, because they're walking this way. And I think the ones in the back may have died off. Well, they do die off, because when they make a pup, then they die off and the babies live and the mother plant dies. But on top of that, all the debris filled the cups. And so that's where they hold water and how they get their moisture. And look, some more of that pothos. This is way down in there. It's just a little piece. But I'm going to put this in a pot and put this on my front porch. Not this one, but that big pile of it that I have right there. Yeah. It's kind of like a houseplant everywhere else, but it grows in Florida. And that's what these lines on my house are, from that pothos growing on it. To show you a little bit of what the big pools look like. This one has the fern, it has the pothos, and it has the bromeliads, more pothos, all in one pool. And then the bottom of this had 2 different plants growing out of it, pothos and a fern. Should look inside. I'm a little afraid to look in there. I'm not really afraid of snakes because I know what's good and what's bad. But with the talking about the pool guy has me just a little spooked. And look at this. Besides pulling all this stuff out and cleaning up the front row of it, I've got enough probably to fill in this whole thing again. Nice. Found this old planter of my mother-in-law's too. I forgot I had it up by the trellis. And it's got ferns, of course, pothos. And it's got one little cacti or succulent there left, it looks like, because that's what it was. Yeah, and it's made out of like cement or something. I don't remember what these planters are called, but they're very expensive, and it is starting to decay a bit. So I'm probably going to move it to the front porch and plant it. Yeah, I found some of the other plant material that fell out of this thing over time. So that can go in there. I might have to buy a few more succulents and just put in there. Okay. We have been freed from the fern invasion. And I didn't come across anything scary at all in the past, before the ferns took over, when I would clean out, between years, because I kind of use this for annuals a lot. I would at least find snails or the shells from a snail or something. I'm finding nothing. I think the ferns strangled out all other forms of growth. All right, so I think the next priority is to get things in the ground, especially these that are kind of bare roots sitting out here. Some of those, and get them in the ground. I moved that over a little because it'll be a while before we can't reach the handle, I think, that turns it on and off, just to have it more flush. But yeah, it's a lot of debris to clean up. Okay, this is all planted up. Looks much thicker, except down on the end we have some of the more scrawny little pieces, because that's a tough spot. I don't think the sprinklers get there very well, and it doesn't get the sunshine, and it's just not as good a growing space. But the good news is you don't have to plant these very deep, and then when they're going to come in with some mulch, and that'll be more than enough depth for them, but you just really only have to scratch down the surface an inch or two and get them in. yeah, these are looking pretty green. I did end up throwing some away that were just, too infiltrated with ferns that it turned them yellow and couldn't get it all out. No little frogs or lizards or anything can live in there right now the way they are. So hopefully this is better. My arms are starting to itch. Ferns do that to me. So let's think about getting some of these other things planted. I'm still in shock that there's a whole pot of that, but it works out perfect. I'm gonna put the big one there, and that little piece that may not make it, I'm gonna put it over here in the center. It's got a long time before it has much of a presence, so I'm not too worried about it, being odd in an odd spot and something growing over it for now. But yeah, I guess I owe the ferns a little bit of a favor because they kept the weeds and stuff out. And yeah. Okay, I've been trying to dig a pretty big hole in these roots with this. I know I should get a shovel, but I am not good with shovels. My knees aren't strong enough for that. But oddly enough, I'm sitting here digging. I could have sworn I heard my husband holler out for me, so I went running in because I thought maybe something was wrong. He's just sitting in there, he's fine, reading, whatever. As I'm coming back out, I see by the bottom of the palm tree this old rusty spade, which I think was a clam digger in Alaska. I don't know, but I just did a couple passes with it in that hole and got as much with my couple passes as I did with 10 passes with the other one. So yeah, the recipe shouldn't be so hard because that ground got new things planted, almost every year, where this one, no. And it's got deep roots from when the jasmine started on this side instead of that side of the arbor. So I guess I'll call this the serendipity spade. Oh, found my first critter. He looks kind of emaciated and kind of white. They usually look like that when they get in the screen porch. And then they die, sadly. Okay, well, this is nowhere near being planted. You can see how high above the ground. My hole's not deep enough. But this thing is just so many different plants. I think I'm going to break it up into smaller plants. And maybe one of them will fit in that hole. And I can plant it a little on the high side because of all the mulch that we have stashed. All right, I'm going to try and pull it apart, but without making that frog homeless. Okay, I did not end up tearing it apart. I ended up teasing the roots to where almost all the soil was off, down to maybe 4 inches at the most. Yeah, it's a little risky, but this is a pretty shady area and very wet area here. So I'm thinking it'll be okay. Plus in Florida, half the stuff you kill replanting comes back up the next year anyway. But I was going to separate it all, but I couldn't figure out how to do that with disturbing that guy. So I'm just going to take it as a sign it needed to be one big plant. Well, I don't have high hopes for this because it's not much in the way of roots. But since this is sort of a bonus plant, I'm going to go ahead and plant it there. It'll look like nothing this year, but maybe next year or the year after, it'll fill in because this bed is flanked on either end now by peace lilies. And this will be a center one. Okay, I got some of them in place. And while I was doing it, I decided to turn the bricks. The bricks were always flat, and I decided to turn them to be the way they were intended to be, which is standing up. Leaves a little to fill something in there. I've been pulling rocks. But yeah, they move when dirt gets between them and the walkway. And you can't just put them, you couldn't used to be able to put them right up against the walkway pavers because of the cement or whatever used in putting the walkway pavers in. But now, I don't know, it's working. I put the rocks there and then these dahlias are coming out like just the top 4 inches, 2, 3, 4 inches of soil. The roots aren't all the way to the bottom of these things. Well, some are, but not most of them are. So I'm getting a lot of extra soil with them to kind of fill in there, and even some of the mess is organic mess that can go there. But yeah, so and then when the mulch gets in, there'll be a wall to hold it. Plus, from years and years of planting, this bed is higher than the walkway, so it needed something taller. So this is working out great. An extra step I wasn't planning on, but well worth it. Oh, and I feel like I need another little plant down there. I'm not sure what. These dahlias are annuals here, but I think the butterfly bush will be perennials. They're supposed to be perennials, so I think they will be. The dahlias, though, will not. I've planted them before, but not the smaller ones. What I wanted was some like allium, I think, that white allium, to pop in around all this color and fill in maybe that empty space there. So maybe we'll make another trip to Lowe's. Not today, because I look like this. Yeah, not going to Lowe's like this. All right, I'm done for the day in the yard. I have already taken a shower and put on clothes and everything, and my arm just got all, well, you can't really see it, but it got all broke out and stuff. Ferns bother me. I don't know. Didn't do it to my left one, but it was my right one. I was really going in deep with them. I dropped Jerry off over at the Largo Library. I came across the street to the park to see if I could play some Pokemon Go. But anyway, that means it'll be a day 3 of it at least. Maybe more. There's a lot of cleanup to do. I need to get some more things planted and put some fertilizer down for them, at least for the perennials, and then mulch it. So it'll probably be tomorrow and the next day. Yeah. So it was a good day, though. It was productive. So we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Okay, the best sandwich I've ever had was called a spicy Elvis. And I'm going to make a quicker version of that tonight. And I'm leaving out 2 ingredients. One is cayenne pepper, because I really can't eat spicy things anymore. And I'm also leaving out that marshmallow fluff, because not only do I not like it, marshmallow, really, I don't care much for that, but for me, it makes it a little too sweet. The banana's sweet enough. Normally, you would make your sandwich and then grill the bread, butter one side of the bread, make your sandwich, close it, then grill it. But this is a faster version, and we had bacon left over from something else, so I'm pulling that out to use that as well. So the first thing we're going to do is put peanut butter on one side and jam on the other. Okay, so we got them done. How much to put on is up to your taste, but you need enough peanut butter. I got jam on my finger. Yummy. You need enough peanut butter to hold your banana slices on it. You could also slice the banana the other way, but that's hard. And then the jam is up to you as to how sweet you want it. If you're using the fluff, then you probably just want the jam enough to taste it, or whatever your personal preference is. Now, I made this jam. I know it's in a jam jar. It's a reuse. But it is not strawberry, and it's not super sweet. It is a triple berry. And so it actually, I'm not a huge strawberry jam fan. I mean, I don't hate it or anything, but it actually adds a lot to the sandwich. So if you have strawberry, I would suggest using that. But if you don't, use anything else. I'm a blackberry kind of girl when it comes to that. All right, so next what we're going to do is place as much of the banana as you want on here. Since my jam isn't sweet, not hardly sweet at all, I'm going to use a lot of banana, probably 2 rows of it, and it's the peanut butter that's going to hold it together. The second row, the second row, I guess we'll just maybe put it on the jam to hold it, hopefully. And then we'll just put the bacon in the middle. Normally I'd put the bacon in the jam. There's just something that I think it tastes good together. the bacon in the jam. But not today. Like I said, today we're just making a fast version. I toasted the bread instead of grilling it, you know. Yeah. Ooh, goody. I have 2 pieces of banana left over. Yay. Alrighty. Now we're going to add some bacon. Depends on how much you want to add. It's up to you. But I think I usually use 1.5 pieces. I got to tear this. Okay, since I was thinking about what I've had to eat today, and I don't eat breakfast, but I ate lunch. I had some broccoli cheddar soup, and so I decided I'm going to eat a little more bacon. I have 2.5 pieces just to kind of even it out and to give me more protein. But what I didn't consider in putting bacon on both sides, or this on both sides, I'm going to flip it because I normally don't put the banana on both sides. Actually, it wasn't hard at all. Just to line it up and then pull the turner out. That's going to be pretty banana-like. Now, usually it's a little bit of a squished sandwich because I grilled it. But since I didn't grill it, I'm going to smash it down a little. I don't know why, I just am. And I'm going to cut it to make it easier to eat as well. So here's what she looks like. Yeah, I do cut sandwiches weird. All right, let's give it a taste. All right, here we go. Looks like a hamburger, doesn't it? So good. Balance of sweet and salty is really good. I'm not a salt person, so I'm getting the bacon more now. But no, the amount of the ingredients were perfect for me. If you wanted the cayenne, you usually sprinkle that on the peanut butter. And if you wanted the fluff, you would put on the other side, you would put the jam and then the fluff and then the bacon. So that's how it's normally made, but leaving off those 2 ingredients. So hope you, if you try it or you've ever had it, please comment below. Let me know.